And we are now joined by the pole setter for tomorrow's Henry 180 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, Kyle Larson, driving that number 17 HendrickCars.com Chevrolet. Kyle, walk us through your qualifying lap today.
Yeah, it was good. The first run, my goal was to hit my marks, and I didn't do that. So it was kind of good to do that because then I could back off of that a little bit and just know that if I got through the corners okay, my car was going to be fast enough that I could have a shot at the pole. Didn't expect to be that much faster than the field, but felt really good. So excited about tomorrow. My car felt amazing in race trim as well. So hats off to the team for preparing a car for me to race this weekend to try and learn and better our efforts for Sunday. So definitely excited about it.
Okay, we'll open the floor for questions. We'll start here with Dustin.
Dustin Albino, JSK.com. Kyle, you haven't competed in the Xfinity Series in 4 years, obviously. What's it like being back in an Xfinity car?
Yeah, it was honestly surprising when I had read that it's been since I think 2018. So it doesn't feel that long ago. But yeah, I don't know, just getting into the car, I guess. The driving stuff is whatever. It's just like the visuals of the tack and the gauges. It's a different style dash than what I was even used to when I was racing Xfinity for Ganassi. So just the little things like that, it's hard to adjust to at first, but once you're out there, it kind of all becomes natural, and it's just another stock car at that point.
How much attention have you paid to this series over the last 4 years with the new talent?
I honestly probably haven't paid enough attention. So I don't know, really how to answer that question. But I'm looking forward to competing with a lot of the young up-and-comers, as I'm sure they're looking forward to compete with me also. So it should be a lot of fun this weekend, and for the couple others that I get to run the rest of the year.
Go next to Bob.
Bob Pockers, Fox Sports. You've led at least 19 laps on the Cup side in 7 of the last 9 races. So I'm just curious, do you feel like some of those have kind of slipped away from you as far as wins, or do you feel like you guys are just a little bit off? Because obviously you find your way up front at some point during a race.
Yeah, I don't know. There was definitely a couple that we almost won that slipped away. They're late, Kansas and Charlotte. But I don't really feel like that was. I feel like in both of those we kind of performed at a very great level, and honestly a little bit better than what we should have, and that's just a testament to our team and how strong we are. But yeah, I feel like as I'm sure everybody does, I feel like we're really close to being good and leading even more laps and challenging for even more wins. So the cars are developing each week. Everybody's refining their stuff and setups and getting better, and we just got to keep working really hard.
And I know I assume you weren't expecting a season like last year, because those just don't come around all that often. But has it been, I don't want to say strange, but has it been frustrating at all not to be as dominant, or the fact that there's nobody who's been really dominant this year kind of make up for any potential frustration?
No, I haven't been frustrated yet. I think I understand that the season we had last year is hard to repeat, especially going into a season with a new car and all that. So that's probably, I'm sure if we were in last year's car and I was sitting here with the same stats, yeah, I'd probably be frustrated. But I think with having the understanding that we have a new car and all that, and pit stops and everything, that helps kind of forget about the success, I guess, of last year. And two, I think nobody's been dominating. So everybody's pretty much been inconsistent at some point throughout a race every week. So just got to find some consistency, and I feel like that's where you'll stand out across the field.
Go next to Dave and then to Dustin Long.
Given how different the cars have become between these two series, what do you gain tomorrow that's going to help?
I think for me, and I don't know yet until I get out there tomorrow, but I think for me, just getting more laps and, figuring out your angles of what works, what doesn't work, the shapes of the corners, stuff like that, to try and just go faster and be better. I imagine our braking points will be much deeper tomorrow, just with it seems like this year, compared to last year's car, the Cup cars can brake a lot deeper into the corners. So, that might take some getting used to at first, but I definitely think it doesn't hurt to get more laps, especially on the same racetrack.
Hindsight being 2020, would you have been better off doing this a year ago?
I don't know. I mean, who's to say? I guess the reason why I picked this one especially. I pick them because it just works out for my schedule and stuff. But I picked this one because I've only raced here twice, and I don't remember at all the race I ran here in 2013, and I don't remember being like that fast. And then the Cup race last year, this was probably our worst road course we had of the season. So that's why it was important for me to get to run this race and just try and learn something every lap.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Kyle, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, after last weekend's race, I think you made the reference of maybe just kind of need to clean a few things up in terms of, I guess, maybe working with Kevin, because that was the first time working with him with Cliff out. You have Kevin here working with the Xfinity car, so you get him double duty, just like you this weekend. What do you feel like, if I remember that, what you said correctly, what do you feel like you need to clean up, or if there's anything in terms of working with him, and how can this weekend help toward that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember those exact comments because I felt like everything went pretty smooth as far as on my end on that. The radio stuff and all that was smooth. So I don't know. I maybe was talking about something else. I can't remember. But no, it is good. I mean, it was an unfortunate circumstance that Cliff is suspended for 4 weeks, but it kind of falls at if it's going to happen, it falls at a good time where I doing this race also with Kevin. So just getting more familiar with him. Not that I feel like I'm super easy to work with, and I feel like I could work with anybody. So it's not hard for me to adjust to different crew chiefs and stuff, but you just I guess just being familiar with the tone of voice and stuff on the radio is important to me. I know the car is always going to be fast when I hit the track, so it's just the voice that Cliff is Cliff, and there's nobody like him on a pit box, especially when he talks to you on the radio. So just I guess maybe just getting familiar with that end of things.
And certainly people will look at the last road course race and say, okay, well, for as strong as you were and successful until the wheel came off, that the expectation would be maybe that it carries over to this place. Is that really the case? Because that's a technical slow course. This is a faster course, and as you kind of reference the inconsistency of everybody, or is there much from Sonoma that you can take and feel good about going into this weekend based off how you did in Sonoma?
I don't know. I don't. It's hard to say, because I mean, last year we dominated Sonoma like extremely good, and we weren't great here. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure on the car side of things, there's things that they learn from it, but I don't know. I've raced a lot at Sonoma, and I haven't raced here much. So I mean, and yes, the two don't really compare. So it's hard to judge off of Sonoma for this place, probably.
Does it seem pretty seamless being in a Hendrick Xfinity car? I mean, it's been a long time since they've raced, in this series, and so I'm just kind of curious what that transition's been like. Almost like the guinea pig, right? I mean.
Yeah, I guess I don't know, and I don't really know like what all went into the logistics of fielding a Hendrick Motorsports car. I know they probably had some help from Junior Motorsports and stuff like that. But I don't know the extent of it. I can only speak from my vantage point, and everything's been smooth. I went and sat in the car once last week, and it fit first try, and I showed up today and sat in again to make sure nothing changed, and and it fit fine again. So radios worked fine. So that's the stuff that like I worry about when I go to run a car that I am not, I haven't ran before, and everything's been smooth so far. So, but we haven't raced yet. So, but I have no doubt that, the depth of talent that Hendrick Motorsports has, that it's going to be, performing at a high level. All the mechanics do. So yeah, it should be easy going.
Thank you.
Do we have any additional questions for Kyle? Bob? Or let's go to Dustin, then to Bob.
I know that with the car number and the paint scheme, it's as much a tribute to Ricky. And obviously, you never got to meet Ricky. And I'm curious, when you're driving a car that certainly has significance to the team, the organization, and the owner, but you don't have as much of that relationship or had that relationship. How do you feel? Is there anything extra on your shoulders, or and how much do you know Ricky, or how do you try to learn a little bit more about Ricky since you never got the chance to meet him?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. I obviously, I never got the chance to meet Ricky, but I've, heard lots of stories. When we were on vacation last year, we watched that kind of documentary they had that Hendrick came out with, years back, kind of talking about all. So I could kind of learn a little bit about him and his family and Rick and Linda even more watching that. So that was good. And then I think for me, having children myself, makes me running this car, much more important, just because I can't imagine, losing one of my children and what that would, do to me. So, and talking to Rick on the phone a few different times, he is so excited about, seeing this paint scheme and number on the racetrack. So, I hope to see him here this weekend. I know he's trying hard to get here. And we have a good shot to win. So I did tell him that it does add some more pressure to you driving this car, because you know how special it is to their family and to Hendrick Motorsports as a whole.
Bob?
Yeah, I was going to ask something similar, because I was talking to one of your crew members, and Lisa, and she, talking about Ricky and the number of people who are working on the car this weekend. There's some who did work with Ricky. So I was curious if any of them had mentioned anything to you yet. I know you're pretty much quick in.
Yeah, no, I hadn't heard of that, but that's really neat, and I think that just adds to the this race, or these races that we're running with this car, and it being special for everybody at the race shop, and anybody who's ever had a relationship with Ricky or worked at Hendrick Motorsports in the past. So when I heard that we were gonna I knew that we would have this paint scheme because it's Rick, and he's flipping the bill for it. But when I heard that it was gonna be that number and paying tribute to Ricky, I think it just made everybody really excited, and it was just the perfect thing to do.
Any additional questions? I do have one final one, Kyle. This week came out that you've been nominated for an ESPY for Driver of the Year against Max Verstappen, Alex Palou, Steve Torrance. How cool is that to be included in that group and to be up for that honor?
Yeah, I was shocked. I mean, yeah, I was shocked to see it. I guess I'd kind of forgotten about an ESPY award or anything like that, and it's now we're in July, so like I'd forgotten about it. But when I read that, I was like, wow, that's really, really cool and a great honor. And I know there's been a lot of NASCAR drivers to win the award, so my fingers are crossed that I could win that, because I think that would be that would definitely be one of the coolest awards I think I could. I mean, just being nominated alone is a great honor. But if I was to win it and beat a F1 world champion, as well as the other champions, like that would be just a great honor, like I said. So we'll see. I hope Max had a great year, as well as everybody else. So hopefully they consider my dirt wins as well, because if you factor in my dirt wins, then that that'll give me a better shot.
Well, fans can cast their votes now, so they can help you get there.
I'm sure my mom's been voting nonstop.
Good deal. Congratulations. Good luck tomorrow.